Hello everybody, welcome back. Today our objective is going to be understanding how to convert fractions into percents with fractions that are not out of 100. So the sad thing is, yes, it would be nice if every single fraction was out of 100, but that's not the case. Okay, so easily enough, if we have 75 out of 100, we know that equals 75%. But what if you had a question like, I don't know, let's see, 2 out of 5? What would the percent be in that situation? How would you figure that out? I know some of you may already have an idea about how to do that, but I'm hoping to give you a tool related to creating a ratio table that might help you. Now, instead of a ratio table, we're going to be calling this a conversion table. Okay, so as we know in this particular test, we got 2 questions out of 5 correct. But this won't give us our percent. And why is that? Because it's not a fraction out of 100. So in order to create a fraction out of 100, we must figure out how to get 5 all the way over to 100. So 5, remember with the ratio table, you are either multiplying or dividing. So that means 5 times what will get us 100? Excellent work. 5 times 20 will get us 100. And what's the rule for a ratio table? Yes, what you do to one side, you must do to the other. So if I multiply this side times 20, I must multiply the other side times 20. So 5 times 20 is 100. That means 2 times 20 is 40, which ultimately means what is my percent? Well, if we have been given 40 out of 100 after converting our value of 2 to 5, a fraction out of 100 equals the percent of 40%. Okay, that's simple. So remember, if you have a fraction that's not out of 100, like 2 out of 5, don't panic. You can still figure out the answer by converting. Now this situation gives us 15 out of 20. So we have 15 out of 20 in this situation. 15 out of 20. Okay, so this test was a 20-question test instead of the 5-question test we had previously. Okay, now are we at a fraction out of 100? No, we are not. Remember, in order to figure out that percent, we must get to 100. So how do I get from 20 all the way to 100? Well, we know with the ratio table we either multiply or we divide, and what we do to one side, we must do to the other. So 20 times 5 gets us 100. So now we know that 15 times 5 will get us the value that goes in that place. So if you were unsure what 15 times 5 was, remember that you can calculate the numbers by stacking. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 2, 6, 7. And passing grades, 75 out of 100, which gives us 75%. Okay, so conversion table. Now we're going to try one that might take a few extra steps. And the reason it will is because you will notice quickly that 2 out of 8 does not go directly into 100. Okay, it might need a few steps to get there. There is no number we can multiply by 8 in order to get us to 100. It just does not go into 100. But what is a number that goes into both 8 and 100? No number, right? Well, I guess we could do 4, now that I'm thinking slightly more clearly, right? And let me just go ahead and erase the 4 there so that I can make it slightly more neat for the rest of you. 8 does not multiply into 4, unfortunately, but remember, with the ratio table, what are the two things we can do? Multiply or divide. So 8 does not multiply into 4, but if we divide by 2, 8 divided by 2 gets us 4, just like 2 divided by 2 gets us 1. Okay, so we have successfully converted 2/8 into 1/4, but we're not there yet. Now we have one more step. We need to get from 4 to 100 because a percent is always a fraction out of 100. So we know that 4 times what equals 100? Excellent. 4 times 25 gets us 100. Remember, what you do to one side, you must do to the other. So 25 times 1 gets us 25, obviously, because any number multiplied by 1 gives us a repetition of that number. And 25 out of 100 means that we now have our magical fraction out of 100, which means we can guess what the percent is accurately and correctly, 25%. So 2 out of 8 equals 25%. Hopefully now you can all calculate a fraction that is not out of 100 and use that to find its percent. Thank you for listening, and remember, please comment on the assignment if you have any questions.